the sooner the better. The reason I say March, there's also some guideline that is supposed to include community input into the budget and the numbers. And so we've done it before, but it was a lot of work. Getting preliminary, getting the notice out, getting parents in or whatever. And so we do have parent meetings already, so it's easy to get input, but we don't really have a standard plan. So Lamonta's been closing the loop on a lot of things in fiscal, and this is something on the leadership side with our department heads pretty much active that we can make sure that we start looking at. So March is like budget planning time for the next year, and then July is when the board should actually have a finalized budget to go into the new year. Because basically that should determine how many teachers we should hire because of the number of kids we expect, and it really all ties together with enrollment. So as you think about this, I don't know if it's a separate a separate motion, but you definitely want to go on record as saying that the school is going to kind of fall in line with the TEA recommendation regarding budget, finalizing budgets in July. That don't mean much. It could be a couple drops. It's only a couple drops. It may not even come down here. It goes to different parts of the city.
It sounds like kind of loud.
It sounds like it's like, oh, that's just a thunder.
It's just
that's just a singer.
Oh, they know they live there.
Teasing us.
Teasing you all.
2 minutes.
So did that make sense about moving it up? In that vein, when you move it up, I'm also gonna recommend it's not an agenda item. It's on the other business, but we might want to look at our annual meeting being in July as well, since the budget really needs to be approved in July. I know I want the annual meeting with the beginning of school, because I think that's a great way to tie it in. But you guys have all said you come back anyway. Just give you notice or whatever. So this would be a July meeting to do like our annual meeting, do the budget, do those enrollment and the kind of statutory things they want us to do before. And that really gives fiscal things to plan for and get ready for, so that we're not always cutting it on the wire. So nobody's fault, but we're trying to go to the next level and get on track. So be a lot more proactive to have an established and approved budget before August, because usually people going back to school in August, do a lot of hiring and things like that. So that's something to keep in mind when we start looking at board meeting dates for the next year in terms of being able to approve budget in July.
So we talked about closing earlier in July to get things done. Can we do the board before July so we can have the approved budget when we're closing and setting everything up for the next year?
As they look at their dates, they could. Okay. It don't have to be. It could be. We could get an approved budget as soon as we have it ready to approve. It's just by July, the budget should be approved.
Okay. And so you're looking to have that annual move to whatever that's going to be. That's what I need to understand.
To whenever the budget's going to be approved.
Right.
That we don't have to.
Annual.
We could add another meeting. That's just one suggestion.
Okay.
Yeah, we could add another meeting. It doesn't have to just be.
When the charter school conference happened, is that a meeting or is that just a
It
conference?
isn't. Because they are really cracking down on the meeting has to be at the school, on the school property. You can't say you're having a meeting in New Orleans just because you're there. Yeah, they're making a big deal about that. That's in the rules. The new
I was
rules.
thinking about the time that the board is usually together, and I was trying to figure out when.
Yeah, and we were together so much with
February
the graduation. Yeah. Y'all been doing a lot of traveling, but to constitute a meeting, they say it has to be here. So that's something to consider when you are looking at the meeting days, but definitely getting that budget approved before July is important to be proactive.
Number 3.
Wait. And you need action.
The initial budget has to be.
Yeah, the original is still have to be, the action has to be made.
2. Go back to number 2, sorry. There's a motion on the floor that we accept this budget and that, that we accept this budget.
I move. We accept this budget.
All those? Aye. Is there any nays? I don't hear any nays. So this budget has been approved.
Are you
I
going to
have
mention
excuse
anything?
you. This is
Learning
my
progress.
first time.
That's
And the word
I'm typing my
There's a lot.
notes. Y'all do my thing.
there's a lot of words.
Keep going.
Okay.
Yes, that's a lot of words.
Yeah.
So, Ann, are you going to do a separate motion or just deal with the June, July kind of budget thing separately? Like
Yes, you-
a motion to have the approved budget.
In
And another.
July.
Yeah, they don't have to approve the meeting yet, but to say that the budget will be approved in July or before July or by July or something like that.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor that we approve the budget before or by July. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve the budget before July.
It has been moved by Shirley and second by Shirley King, second by Deborah Adams. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those that are not aye. All those that are not say nay. I don't hear any nay, so the motion, the ayes got it, and the motion to move to accept the budget, to approve the budget by July or before has been approved. Number 3, discuss an appropriate action regarding the monitor's report. Mr. Martinez.
So, you got the report, Michelle?
I do, and I'm going to mail it to them, email it right now because of the thickness of it. Do you want to share?
So, I've been, LaRonda, actually, myself, Michelle Go, and department heads, including Mr. Landry, met with our team, monitor Dr. Richard Clifford. And when we received him, I guess when we received him in February or March, I think it was March is when we received him. The things that he was here to report back to TEA, back to Austin, we had already been working on those things. And so he was very impressed with the action that we had taken upon ourselves to make sure, since we were in improvement required status, that we had already taken the steps needed to correct what needed to be corrected. The big piece had to do with Ms. Wilson, her team. He's very, very pleased with, he's been monitor for years, I think 12 years is what he said, with TEA. He was superintendent of the Southwest Independent School District, and he was very pleased with the fact that the charter schools, he's been to many charter schools as well. He's very pleased with the way we're running and the way Mrs. Yarbrough has gotten the improvement from what was required of the school. He thought we were very proactive and very open with what we were doing in regards to how we're going to improve in fiscal. Rhonda did a great report. She compared her and her team. Basically, it was Rhonda putting it together. It is very lengthy, but it's something that needed to be done. She did it extremely well. I went through it with the monitor when he was here today when I got back from Vegas. And so, I don't know, Rhonda spent a lot of time on the report as well. Very, very pleased with the outcome. His final report was going to be due at the end of this week to TEA, express his sorrow for not being able to be at the meeting because he had a death in the family that he had to go attend to. That's why he's not here with us to be here. But everything went well. His report will be very positive to the state. We've met all the requirements that the state has required upon us to meet and beyond. So he's very pleased with what we're doing, and that's what his report's going to say.
He was 10 times what Mr. Martinez just said. He was blown away because he has been looking at a lot of schools, and he's looking at a lot of schools right now, and he called me the other day. We met with him on the 21st to give him the final report. It is lengthy. I'm finding it now to email it to you, but he asked for permission to share it because of what Loranda had done to show how we're trying to improve or how we have improved. And so the way she formatted it and things like that, he was just overly complimentary to us. And this is, he agreed to champion. He has no power, but he's going to champion our cause regarding Index 4, which you don't have a clue about. But he definitely checked off all the boxes, as Mr. Martinez said, over and beyond. And he was really impressed with the leadership team and the way that we work together and meet together to do what has been done. He had lots of recommendations. We learned so much every time we met with him. Again, he's been there, done that. And one of my concerns to the state was it would have been nice to get him in September and not in March. Had we got rid of high school in September, then we wouldn't be appealing IR rating right now because it wouldn't count, because we would have got rid of it. And it was really some of the guidance he was providing to us really helped us kind of gauge how we needed to do certain things. And he didn't say close high school, but in listening to our conversation, he gave us information about pros, cons, all of that. And it was very clear after he left that we started to put the thing in motion. And that would have happened in September. So anyway, I've told him that as well. And so just a very positive experience with him. Very, very positive. Learned a great deal from him as he shared his experience. And I don't know what all the monitors are like, but I am thanking God that we got him because he was really an asset to us, which I think you want monitors to be. But he will be championing our cause in his report, giving us high praise, and he will be sharing that report with the other districts that he works with to see if they can use it to help them make decisions about improvement. We do need the board to approve this report. And so, Rhonda, what date did you send it? Because, yeah, well,
You did something on your computer.
did I save it?
So, because I asked you to send it to me, but I never got it.
I think it was too big. So is it the
The
one you
word?
call the rough draft?
The word, you did the word part.
Oh,
You
that
did the
one.
opening and the closing on it.
Oh, yes.
Then you're looking for, you want the whole,
So what Rhonda had is like a summary, and I added an introduction and conclusion to the summary. And then behind that 2 or 3 pages was her report, which I believe you guys saw in March. You know, you saw the draft of it in March and approved it in March, and we closed the loop on it and made it really pretty.
yeah, they got the first part when we had that board meeting, where we had a lot of staff there. It was the last board meeting for Ricky. And then the part that we added with the monitor was a narrative where basically we went into the last piece of that whole big old packet that I put together was basically a little chart that said this is what we're going to do to improve. And then what I turned around and did for the monitor is I went into more narrative explanation of what that means. Basically, this in the chart basically means this. And we also attached some supporting documentation to show how we were doing the things that we said we were going to do in improvement. So that's the part, Ms. Jarbo, that you added the opening and the closing to the narrative. The other part, the really long part, they already have that part.
Okay.
I
But
think it was Friday the 22nd, August the 22nd.
that we
That
worked
you
on
were,
it.
that you were working on it here. That
Well,
Friday.
we met with him. It was that day because we gave it to him. So the 21st.
What's his name?
Or it was the
Dr.
third.
Robert
That was
Richard
18th,
Clifford.
Tuesday was 18th.
This I have.
Well, it was the
from
21st.
Oh,
yeah,
what
she
day
sent
is
it-
that?
She sent it to y'all. That's right. She sent it to y'all.
I
March
did?
27th.
No. That's in March.
This is something.
No, but you sent it to them. You sent them the copy.
But
I did?
You did. You
What's his
CC'd,
name?
CC'd everybody.
The first.
I did?
You did.
The day we all met in June?
This is a letter.
This
I
in
don't.
August.
The attachment to that is in August. I'm the. I should have it. That's the letter that